Hey guys, what we're looking at here is a car, and here here you can see it's reflecting the environment. In actual fact, it's a fake environment. It's what's known as an environment map, and an environment map can be used, as in here, to bring life to any reflective surfaces or shiny surfaces. So we're going to learn two skills today. We're going to learn how to create environment maps and how to create reflections. But first of all, let's have a look at this Superfly render. So we have three objects here. We have a flat plane, a sphere, and a cone. The cone is textured. The plane and the sphere are not reflective. And I just need to draw a quick distinction between reflections and specular. So they're really both different flavors of the same thing. A specular is basically a highlight that shows where the light is coming from, and a reflection is like a specular on steroids that reflects back things in the environment. And you can have various levels of reflectivity. If you just think about something in your own home, say maybe a chrome thing would be very reflective. It's got a very smooth, polished surface, and then you could have I don't know, say a spoon which is made of steel, which is not so reflective. So we have these three items, and they're in a scene. If I just press my shortcut key with a construct here. So if I just press M to go back to here, these are my keyboard shortcuts. And I'm just going to go to, first of all, I just want to show you the render settings. So we are in Superfly. So now if I go to the material room, and I want to set up a reflection on this plane, so I left click in the scene on top of the plane. Here's the material, very boring. It's a little bit specular, 100% specular, 100% of its diffuse color. But now look, if I click here, what I have here is a Wacro panel open, and if they're not if they're not open on yours, you may have these three dots on the side of the screen, so you just click those to open. And I just click the add reflection button, and they immediately create these three new nodes. And what they've done is created a Firefly reflection. But I want you to see something interesting here. There's this node here reflects, tells it to create a reflection, even though it's plugged into reflection color. This node here tells it to wrap a sphere map around the reflection, so it's immediately making a kind of environment map. And you'll see it has a dotted line here. That means it's an illegal connection when used in Superfly. But it does work in Firefly. And then this here is a background node, which just gives it a color. I could plug in something colored here, or I could just change the color here. But for now, I'm actually going to delete that. So at the moment, what I've got is just a reflective surface, and I want you to notice, if I go back to render settings, it has automatically changed the render mode from Superfly to Firefly. There's a reason for that, but I personally think it's rather stupid, because what it's saying is this setup won't create reflections on Firefly, so on Superfly, sorry. So if I click this button and have a quick render, you'll see this plane now has become reflective. But if I do the same thing on Superfly, okay, that's right. It's reflective, but hold that thought, because now if I add an image map, what I'm adding here is a HDRI spherical map image. So what it is basically is an image that has been, it was a 360 degree sphere image that's projected out onto a flat plane. And HDRI, high dynamic range image, means that the image has a broader color gamut than a regular JPEG. So if I click here, this little eye opens up the preview, and I can see the preview of the image here. Now, you might think that because it's broken here, the connection is broken, that this doesn't work. But if I click here, okay, what the hell is going on there? Oh, for God's sakes. Let me have a look. Okay, this is strange. I've done this a billion times, and in every single time, this image map shows here. Why the hell is that not working now? Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, so what we have here is a poser bug. When I connect this sphere map directly to the reflection color, we get the preview appears here. When I then reconnect that sphere map back to the reflect node here, now it works and shows a preview here. There's no rhyme or reason to that. But let me show you something here. So if I render that as Firefly, we should get no environment map in the scene because the scene is surrounded by the construct. So if I go out here, A again, there's a construct. Now if I right click, select ground and make that invisible, and now render that, I should get the environment map on that mirror depending on the angle of it. There we go. And it's also reflecting this back as well. So both parts of the reflectivity are working. Now, if I render that in Superfly, I should lose that reflection map, although the way it's behaving right now, there we go, reflection map's disappeared. But that's because Superfly doesn't need a reflection node. You can just take the sphere map and plug it straight into the reflection, and with any luck, that reflects properly. Better yet, and this is why I much prefer Superfly, if I turn the ground back on, it doesn't require line of sight for that environment map to shine through. Basically, it's behaving as I would expect it to behave. By which I mean that this is a faked environment map. It's not reflecting what is actually in the scene. It's reflecting something that I'm telling to project onto it. So now if I take this sphere and first of all I'll copy that. So I just drag select to get those three nodes, copy, left click to pick up the sphere, replace, preview, preview, no preview. It's completely broken because this preview should also preview here, and as you can see, it's previewing in final scene. But then if I render here, we now get the environment map projecting onto the sphere. So what we've just covered there, guys, was how to make reflectivity. So just add reflection there, and now the sphere should be just reflective, even though it's Superfly. That's reflecting that back. Incidentally, these don't reflect each other with an environment map if you're in Firefly. And you can change the mirror surface here by clicking here and changing it, say, to black, and it just gives you a nicer reflection. or you can change it by clicking this sphere map color as well. Okay, hopefully that gives you some ideas, guys. I don't know why that preview didn't come through properly, but I'm sure you get the point. Okay, thanks, guys.